Assalamu alaikum to everyone. I hope you can hear me properly. Can you hear me properly? If you can hear me properly, kindly write yes in the chat window. Thank you. All right. I don't know. Most of the names are displaying my name. All right. So everyone is requested to please mute your mic. Mr. Kethival has raised hand. Yes, please. Okay. Yes, there are two persons who have raised hand. Yes, please. If there is any question, just kindly do let me know, please. Okay. All right. So, starting with the name of Almighty Allah. So, everyone is requested to please mute your mic. So, uh, it is Abdul Shakur from Lexicon School of Business and Finance, and I believe you can hear me properly. So, once again, I would like to request someone to please confirm if you can hear me properly. So, kindly write yes in the chat window. And if my screen is visible, kindly write yes in the chat window. Thank you very much. So I warmly welcome you all on this excellent webinar on scenario management in a financial model. So if you will be having any question, you can write in the chat window, or at the end, we can also take some questions in the live environment as well. So let's move on. So what will be the agenda for our today's session? So, okay. All right. So we will be discussing various elements of a scenario management in a financial model. Then we will also discuss how we should select some key drivers for the financial model, then strategies to effectively build scenarios, and how we can integrate these scenarios with the financial model. Okay. All right. So this is a brief introduction. As I said earlier, that I'm Abdul Shukur from Lexicon School of Business and Finance, and I am Advanced Financial Modeler from Financial Modeling Institute, Canada, and Associate Financial Accountant and Certified Public Accountant. All right. So this is a proverb that has been taken from a freelancing survey conducted in America. The future of work would not be about college degrees; it will be about job skills. So this is one of many reasons that why we are conducting this webinar. That the thing is that according to the World Economic Survey that I will also be showing to you shortly. So the future of work would not be about college degrees; it will be about job skills. Okay. So the most important point is that you have to focus on your job skills rather than the college degrees. Okay. So let me enter some more participants. All right. So this is the job landscape according to the World Economic Forum report. So here are top 10 emerging skills and top 10 declining skills. And the most important thing is that there are 133 million job roles that will emerge up to 2022. And there are 75 million job roles that will be on a declining phase. Okay. And on the top 10 emerging skills, you can see that the data analyst and scientists are at the top of the list, and then the AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning specialists are at second number, and then the list goes on with the big data scientist and specialist. And most importantly, the top 10 declining skills are data entry clerks, accounting, bookkeeping, and payroll clerks, and so on. So, if you are in any organization where you are performing some repetitive nature of tasks or works, then your job role will be at the declining phase. Okay. And you will need to learn new skills that are emerging up to 2022 and 2025. Okay. So after this report, World Economic Forum report also, Economic Forum also gave another report, job landscape for 2025, and there are top 10 skills of 2025 as well. And again, you can see that the analytical thinking and innovation, and then active learning and learning strategies, and so on. So the thing is that analysis or analytical skills are most important for the upcoming years. All right, so this is the reason that we are conducting this session on financial modeling, where uh, we will be discussing some brief topic of the financial modeling, but in a complete course, we will be discussing complete analysis and data analysis and financial modeling. All right. So a brief introduction about Lexicon. What we do at Lexicon is and what we are representing. We have some global and national level representations and affiliations. We are approved by Skills Development Council in Pakistan, and we are approved tuition providers of Institute of Financial Accounting UK. And in Pakistan, we are the approved training provider of Financial Modeling Institute Canada, and there are some other institutes as well. So these are our some affiliations and representations. Then at Lexicon, we offer certain programs, corporate trainings, and consultancy. So in programs, we offer advanced diploma in accounting and finance, associate certified Islamic banker, certified financial modeler, certified CFO, and diploma in international financial reporting standards, analyzing and visualization in Power BI and advanced Excel courses. Apart from this, we also offer corporate trainings in financial modeling, tax audit, financial management, and Power BI, and some other soft skills. Okay, so we also provide services in bookkeeping, outsourcing, virtual CFO services, actuarial valuations, or employee end of the year benefits, IFRS implementation and consultation, financial model preparation, Power BI implementation, and Excel dashboard integration. All right, so this was the brief introduction what we do at Lexicon. Okay, so there are some our program that are starting in the month of August, that is Certified Financial Modeler, and there is currently 50% off on the training fee. Then Diploma in International Financial Reporting Standards. For the attendees of this webinar, there is 15% discount. And then Analytics and Visualization in Power BI is starting from August 30. Okay, so let's move on to the scenario management in a financial model. So what is scenario analysis according to you? If anyone can write in the chat window, what is scenario analysis or the scenario management in a financial model? Anyone who want to define what is scenario management or the scenario analysis, you can write in the chat window. Is there anyone who want to define what is scenario management? You can write in the chat window, please. It means about analysis about project. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else who want to define what is scenario management or scenario analysis? Okay, all right. So the scenario analysis in a financial modeling is basically process of evaluating different possible events that can happen or change in the future. Okay, so actually, as the financial model is based on projections or based on forecast, so there are certain uncertainties. Okay, so mostly there are uncertainties. So wherever there is uncertainty, we use scenario analysis or the scenario management. Okay, so scenario analysis in a financial model is basically a process where we evaluate different possible events that can happen or change in the future. For example, as I said earlier, that a financial model is a forecast and we don't know what will happen in the coming days or the coming months or the years. So there is uncertainty. For example, there is inflation. For example, there are the exchange rate or some other elements where there is high uncertainty. So where there is uncertainty, scenario analysis is necessary in a financial model. So I have certain question in the chat window. Possibility of happening of different events. Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right. So as I said earlier, that the scenario analysis is a process of evaluating different possible events that can happen or change in the future. Okay. So we'll discuss what may be different options who can be used in a scenario analysis or the scenario management. All right. So there are different scenario names that are being used by the financial modelers in a financial model. So one may be the base case, best case, or the worst case. This is the most widely used name in a financial model. Okay, base case, best case, and worst case. And some financial modelers also use base case, blue sky, and gray sky, and some also use as base, good, and weak case. And there are some other names as well, scenario 1, scenario 2, and scenario 3, and so on. So these are the names that most of the financial modelers name in a financial model. Okay, so anyone you can pick, but the best practice is to use base case, best case, and the worst case normally. Okay, then, as I said earlier, that in a financial model, this is based on a forecast of the projects, and there is uncertainty. And I have highlighted different items in a financial model. For example, you can see that in cost inflation, there is uncertainty, and this is the item that can be used as a scenario item in a financial model. And again, you can see that the sales volume growth, there is again uncertainty, and you can use this item as a scenario item in a financial model, right? So where there is uncertainty, that item can be used as a scenario item in a financial model. So this is a financial statement of a model. So in the item, you can see that there are certain line items where there is uncertainty, and for example, you can see that if the cost of sale, you are taking the cost of sale as a percentage of sale, then there is also uncertainty, and you can change the cost of sale percentage for the upcoming years. Okay, then if you are taking the depreciation, you can, there is uncertainty, and if you are using uh, if you are using the inflation and the other elements in the revenue calculation, for example, you are taking the number of shops or number of units to be sold in the upcoming years, so there is uncertainty, and you can use these item as a scenario item in a financial model. All right. So the possible scenario items may be, in the economic items, you can take inflation and the exchange rate, and in the accounting item, you can take revenue growth, number of units or the number of shops as as a scenario item. Then cost of goods sold ratio, if it is taken as percentage, then it can also be taken as a scenario item. Then expenses ratio, dividend payout ratio can also be taken as possible scenario items. So these are the possible scenario items that can be taken in a financial model as a scenario item. All right. So what we will be learning practically is that we will learn how we can prepare a scenario sheet using different methods. We can use the combo box with index and match function. We can use combo box with choose function and data validation with index and match function. And we will also see integration of a scenario sheet with the rest of the model. All right. So let's move on toward the Excel sheet, scenario sheet. So I believe you can see my Excel sheet. If you can see the Excel screen, kindly write yes in the chat window. All right. Thank you. So here is how we can prepare a scenario analysis sheet. So this is the ABC Limited company, and we are taking some economic and pricing scenarios. And here is the combo box, and you can see that we have used different scenarios: base case, best case, and the worst case. And you can see that whenever I'm changing a scenario, the percentage is changing. Okay. So here in the economic scenario, we have taken cost inflation as a scenario item. Then in the sales scenario, we have taken number of units sold, sale price per unit, okay, and the sales volume growth. These are the three items that are taken as a scenario item in a financial model for this in this example, basically. So normally it is recommended that there should be minimum three scenario items. Okay, you may choose more items as well, but the minimum number of items for the scenario analysis should be three. Okay. So here we have taken three scenarios: base case, best case, and the worst case. Okay, and for example, we are taking inflation, cost inflation as an example. So in the base case, inflation is at the 2%, and the best case inflation has been decreased from 2% to 1.8%, and in the worst case, the inflation has increased from 2% to 2.5%. Okay. So the thing is, in a financial model, we will be using one inflation percentage. Okay. So whenever we will be switching the scenario, whenever we will be changing the scenario, the inflation percentage will change automatically. And as we will integrate this scenario sheet to the rest of the financial model, then whenever we will be changing the scenario, the complete financial model will be changing automatically. All right. So how many of you know how we can insert a combo box? How many of you know how we can insert combo box? Do you know how we can insert combo box? If you know, kindly write yes in the chat window. All right. All right. So there are some participants who know how we can insert combo box. Okay. Okay, let's move on. So to So to insert combo box, first point is that the developer tab should be enabled in your Excel. If you can see the developer tab, that is fine. Otherwise, what you can do is go to the files option, files tab, then options and customize ribbon. Okay. Files tab, options, customized ribbon, and in the customized ribbon, here is the developer tab, and you should enable this developer tab, okay, to insert the combo box. So if it is not ticked, just tick it and enable it. Enable this developer tab so that it can be enabled into the ribbon. All right. So here is the developer tab. If it is not enabled, you can enable it. And let me repeat again, files, just go to the files, then option. Okay. And in the option under the customized ribbon option, you can select developer tab. Okay. So under the developer tab, just click on the developer tab, and in the controls group, there is option with the name of insert, and in insert, here we have the combo box. Okay. First option is the button, and the second option is the combo box. Okay. So you click on the combo box, and you can drag and drop. So you can drag it. Okay. Here it is. So this is the combo box, and you can see that uh, this is empty combo box. Okay, so there is no data at all in this combo box. So you can write the scenario names that you want to display in this combo box. For example, here you can see that base case, best case, and the worst case. Okay, base case, best case, and the worst case. So you can write different names that you want to display in this combo box as base case, base, suppose base, best, and worst. Okay. So what combo box do is uh, it perform two different aspects. One is that it displays the name of different scenarios, and the other option is that it also gives an output. Okay, and output is the index number of scenario item. Okay. All right. So to display these possible options, what you have to do is just right click on at the edge of the combo box. Okay. Just select it and right click. And while you will right click, there is an option that with the name of format control. Click on the format control, and in the format controls, there is a format control box, and here you have two different fields. One is the input range, and here you can select the input range that you want to display in this combo box. Then the cell link. So this cell link is the output cell basically that will gives us the index number of the scenario item. Okay, for example, this base case is at index number 1, then the best case is at relative position of 2, and the worst case is at relative position of 3. Okay, so for example, this is the cell where I want the output. Okay, so the output will be the relative position of these possible options. So what I have did over here is I have selected these options in the input range, then I have given a cell link as an output cell. Okay, so click OK, and you can see that base case, best case, and the worst case is showing here in the combo box. And the other important point is that 1, 2, and 3 is also displaying in a cell. Here it is. Okay, and this one is showing the relative position of this choice. For example, I'm selecting base case, and it is showing the 1 because the base case is at a relative position of 1 in this particular array. And whenever you will select best case, it is displaying 2, and whenever you will select the worst case, it is displaying 3. Okay, so here is how you can select base case, base case, best case, and the worst case. All right. So is there any question? I already get this training of CFA Society. Okay, that is fine. So is it okay to everyone that how you can insert the combo box? If you have any question, just you can write in the chat window. That is great. Okay. Any question from any participant, please? Thank. Okay. So here is how we can insert the combo box. All right. So once we have inserted the combo box, there is an output cell. Okay. And the thing is, the most important point is that we have to select one percentage. For example, in this example, we are taking cost inflation as a scenario item. So we have to select one percentage out of these three options. Okay. So this will be the financial model driver basically that will drive the whole financial model. Okay, and these are the possible choices or possible option. These are the choices: choice 1, choice 2, and choice 3. And we have to select one choice out of these three choices that will drive our complete financial model. Okay, so here we will use combo box with the index function. So what index function does is that index function gives uh, the index function shows the amount or the value at a relevant index number. Okay, for example, this percentage is at index 1, 2, and 3. So what index number will do is that, for example, I will be giving the index number 1. So index function will gives me the percentage that is at index number 1, that is 2%. And if I will give input as index number 2, then the index function will gives the percentage that is 1.8%. Okay, so let's use the index function with the combo box. So is equal to index. In the index function, there are two possible requirement. There are two requirement. One is the array and another one is the row number. Okay, so this is the array that are the choices. Okay, for our scenario analysis. Then the other requirement is the row number. You can also put manual row number. So for example, it is 1. Okay, so it is giving you 2%, and you can change as 2%, it is giving you 1.8%. So let me write 1, 2, and 3 in this cell as well. And the other option is that you can also give the reference of this cell. Okay, and if you're entering 1, it is giving you 2%. Then if you are entering 2, it is giving you 1.8%, and if you are entering 3, it is giving you 2.5%. Okay, so here is how we can use the index function. And now let's use it uh, with the combo box. Okay, so this is the index function, comma, and you have to give the reference of the output cell basically. And in my scenario, the output cell is, let me show you where is the output cell. And you can move it. Here is the output cell. Okay, and I can name it as scenario switch. SS is the scenario switch. Okay, so I have named this cell as scenario switch. So what we can do is, so is equal to index reference of the array, comma, SS. Okay, you can enter the SS, or you can give the reference of this output cell. Okay, so now see, whenever you will be changing the case in this combo box, it will change the percentage automatically. Okay, and this percentage will change the entire financial model automatically. So you can copy this toward right with Control R. So here it is. Okay, so whenever you will change the case, okay, so whenever you will change the case from the combo box, the percentage will change automatically. All right, so is it okay to everyone? If there is any question, just do let me know, please. If it is okay, then we will move ahead. Is there any question from any participant? Okay, Thank you. The next thing is that how we can use the combo box with choose function. Okay. So here is how we can use the combo box with choose function. We have already learned how we can insert the combo box, and here is the combo box. Okay. And this time we will be using the choose function. So is equal to choose. Okay. And in the choose function, we have to give the uh, index numbers, index number values basically. First of all, we have to give the index number reference, and here in this case we can also name it as SS. Okay. Okay, for SS we have already defined it SS, so let me name it as S1. Okay, so here it is equal to choose, then S1 as scenario number, then the option 1, option 2, and option 3. Okay, and you have to give the reference of each possible options. So normally the choose function is used whenever we have only one, two, or three options, because if you have more than two, three options, for example 10, 20 options, then choose function is not recommended, because you have to give reference of each and every possible option. Then you can use the index and match function. Okay, so index choose function, let me give, here it is. Okay, and let me fix this d6 so that I can copy it toward right, and you can fix it by applying the dollar sign, or the shortcut key to fix any reference is F4. Okay, you can copy it toward right with Control R, and whenever you will be choosing different scenario items, the percentage will change automatically. Okay, so this is how you can use the choose function with combo box. All right, so whenever you are choosing different scenarios, the percentage is changing automatically. So this is how we can use the choose function. And the third option is how we can use the data validation for the scenario management. So how many of you know the data validation? Kindly mute your mic if there is any question. That is fine. Otherwise, kindly mute your mic, please. All right, so let me insert the data validation. And to insert the data validation, what you can do, let's first learn how we can insert the data validation. Okay, so for example, this is the cell, and go to the data tab, and here we have the data validation. In the data tools, yes, it is Abdushakur, but the thing is, there are multiple names with the name of Abdushakur. I don't know. I believe this is an issue from Zoom. Okay. So in the data tools option, here is the data validation. Just click on the data validation. Okay. And in the settings tab, just select the list. Okay. Because we have the list that we have to display in this particular cell. Okay, list, then the source is the values that you want to display in this particular cell. Okay, so hit OK. You can see that there is a drop down option, drop down menu in this particular cell. And in the best case, and the worst case, you can select any possible options based on the worst case. All right, so this is how you can insert the data validation. Let me repeat it. Just go to the data tab, and in the data tools, here is a data validation option. In Excel 2013 and 16, the data validation, there is a button with the name of data validation. But in Excel 2000 Excel 365, this is the image with the data validation. Okay, under the data tools, and you can select the data validation. Okay, in the settings, you can pick the relevant option. In my example, I have to display the values from a list, so I have to select the list. Okay, list, then give the source. All right, and this data validation will display you the possible options. So I have entered the data validation over here. This is the displaying the base case, best case, and the worst case. What is the difference of combo box and the data validation? Uh, Actually, both option perform the same function, but the thing is that the combo box is recommended for a financial model rather than the data validation. The data validation also gives the same result, okay, and as well as the functionality is concerned, there is only one difference. One difference is that the combo box gives the output for the index number, but the data validation didn't give any output as a index number. Okay, so for data validation, we have to use two function. One is the index and another one is the match function. And in the combo box, we can use the choose function and only one function, that is the index function only. All right. So this is the reason that normally the combo box is used in a financial model. In the data validation, we have to use two different functions. Okay, as we have learned that how we can insert how we can insert the data validation, and here you can see that we have to insert two different functions. One is the index and another one is the match function. Okay, let me remove all these. And here first of all we have to use the index function. And as I told you earlier, that the index function gives the value at a relative position. Okay, so here is the array to pick the value. Then the second requirement is the raw number. And in the combo box, we have give the reference of the output box as the raw number. But in the combo, in this scenario, in this data validation, we don't have the output cell. So we have to use another function, that is match function. Okay. And what match function will do is it will match this particular case with the lookup array, and this is the lookup array, and it will gives us the index number. All right, so here it is. As I have selected the base case, and what choose function, what match function will do is that this will match this base case to this array and will gives us the index number. And here you can see that it is 2%. And whenever I will be changing the scenario from base case to best case and the worst case, and you can see that the percentage is changing, but this time this percentage is changing without the output cell. So this is the major difference between the combo box and the data validation. All right, so here you can fix different cells. First of all, you have to fix this E6, okay, with F4, and you should also fix this range as well. Okay, and now you can copy it toward right. All right, and you can choose the different possible scenario items. All right, so is it okay to everyone that how we can use the data validation in a scenario management? All right, is there any question in this data validation and how we can use the data validation in a scenario analysis of the scenario management? All right, thank you. So these are the three possible options. There are other options as well. For example, we can use the offset function as well in scenario analysis. But we have discussed three possible options. One is that the combo box with the index function, and combo box with the choose function, and data validation with index and match function. All right. So you can use any of these possible options. You can use the combo box with index, combo box with choose, and the data validation with index and match function. So for example, if you have 2 to 3 possible scenario items, then you can use the combo box with choose function as well. And if you have more than 2 to 3 options, then you can use the index and match function. Okay, or the combo box with index function or the choose function. All right. So let me show you a complete financial model. I believe you can see my screen. Can you see the screen with the name of Epicure Home Appliances? All right. So here you can see that this is a summary of the base case and the base case, best case, and the worst case. And here we have the inputs. We have the inputs for the general scenario, cost, depreciation, other assumptions. Okay. So the thing that we have learned today is that that was a scenario analysis at the scenario sheet, and we have learned how we can build this scenario sheet. And you can see that these are the schedules, and I will show you how the complete or the entire financial model change while changing a scenario item. Okay, so this is a financial model basically, and currently running scenario is the worst case, and you can see that in this worst case our revenue is 10,031. Okay, so let me change the scenario, and now let me change the scenario from worst case to base case, and let's move on to the model. And currently running scenario is the base case, and you can see that the revenue has been changed from 10,031 to 10,318. Okay, and the complete financial model, including the cash flow statement, including the balance sheet and the income statement, the complete financial model will automatically change while you will be changing the scenario. Okay, the other thing is that you can also use a watch window. For example, if you are presenting a financial model to your management or to your client, so there is another option. Let me see. Here we have the option. Just a moment, please. Yes, here it is. So, for example, just a moment. For example, this is a financial model, and just go to the formula tab, and under the formula tab here is the watch window. Okay, in the watch window, let me delete the existing watch windows, remove watch. And for example, I want to display the revenue, okay, or the change in revenue while we will be changing the scenario. I have added this watch window, and you can see that uh, the revenue for the different years is 10,031, 15,779, and so on. So let me change the scenario. For example, this is the watch window, and I'm changing the scenario. For example, this is the base case, and you can see that the values of the revenue has been changed accordingly. And you can change the base case to worst case, and you can see the relevant relative change in the revenue. Okay, so this is a new option in the Excel, that is with the name of watch window. You can also use this watch window. For example, if you are changing the scenarios and you have to travel between the sheets, and to display that your financial model is changing according to the scenario. But now you can also use the watch window, and you can add different watches, and whenever you will be changing the scenarios, your relevant values or the amounts will be changed, and it will be displaying on the same sheet while you are presenting a financial model to your management or your client. All right, so this is a complete financial model. In the watch window, can it shown fiscal numbers rather than cells? Fiscal numbers like 2000. Cell F, okay. Yes, you can use the name. For example, here is the name, uh, cell name can also be displayed over here, and you have to write the name of these cells to display over here. Okay, all right. So let me briefly introduce you our complete course on a financial model with the name of Certified Financial Modeling, Certified Financial Modeler. Before moving on, if there is any question in the scenario analysis or index match or choose function, just go ahead, and I will be more than happy to answer. All right. So let's have a brief introduction of a certified financial modeler. In the certified financial model, we prepare a complete financial model from scratch, and the course content includes advanced Excel function required for a financial model, including the what if analysis, goal seek, scenario manager, and the data table. Then reporting and analysis through pivot table. In the certified financial modeler course, we prepare a complete profit and loss account with the pivot table, with dashboards, and with different analysis tools of a financial statement. Then refreshing some non-function that are required for a financial model. Then we use a comprehensive discussion. We have a comprehensive discussion on absolute and relative cell reference, number formatting that is required for a financial model. Okay. Then fundamentals of financial modeling and best practices. Here we discuss the best practices of preparing a financial model. Okay. And how we can prepare a very good looking financial model. Let me move on. Okay, then we prepare a complete schedules for a financial model, including the revenue and pricing, cost of sales schedule, HR and payroll, operating costs, working capital, property, plant and equipment, debt and loan amortization, and equity. And then we prepare complete financial statement projection model, including income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. And apart from this, we discuss a comprehensive analysis of scenario management in a financial model. This was a part of that discussion that we have discussed today, but in the course we discuss it in a comprehensive manner. And then we also prepare a discounted cash flow model from scratch with different case studies. Okay, so these are the sample certificates of the certified financial modeler. This is approved and awarded by Institute of Financial Accountant UK. So the certificate of completion certificate is awarded by Institute of Financial Accountant UK, and we also provide a transcript for the certified financial modeler. So our new batch is starting from August 2. If there is anyone who is interested to learn uh, how we can prepare a financial model from scratch, you can join our course. Okay, so we will also be sharing the recording of this session on our social media. And if there is any, if there will be any question relevant to the financial model, you can reach me. Okay, or you can reach our team at Lexicon School of Business and Finance, and we will be more than happy to help you in your professional lives. All right, so if there is any question, just go ahead please, otherwise we will wind it up and share the stuff. uh, okay, we will also share the material that we have used in this webinar. All right, so if there is any question, just move ahead, otherwise we will wind it up. Okay, thank you very much everyone for participating in this session. Stay blessed. Can you please share the link to register? Just a moment. Just a moment. And I don't, is there any discount? Yes, we can discuss the discount. What you can do is that you can reach me at 030345656764, or you can write an email at info@lexicon.edu.pk, and we can discuss the pricing model. Our major objective is to impart knowledge. This is not a commercial activity. Okay, the course fee is, I believe, 13,000 is the registration fee, and the IFA UK certificate course is IFA UK certificate fee is £65. Okay, what we will do is that I will ask to send an email with the registration details to all the participants as well. Okay, otherwise you can write an email at info@lexicon.edu.pk and you will get the details. All right. So thank you very much, everyone, for your participation. And all right. All right. Okay. Bye bye.